You think courage is about grand gestures, bravery in the face of impossible odds. But what if courage is simply choosing to look at what you'd rather avoid? Welcome to the Stoic Compass. I am Epictetus, and today I am joined by Jung and Laozi. Today we are examining, what does courage actually require? Courage is facing what must be faced, enduring what must be endured, acting when action is required despite the fear. Is there any other definition?
Perhaps the first act of courage is admitting you are afraid, and the second is understanding why. The dragon you fear may be guarding a treasure you desperately need.
You both make courage sound like a battle. What if true courage lies in knowing when not to fight? When to yield, when to flow around the obstacle, when to simply wait for the river to change course.
Wait while injustice prevails, while the weak are trampled? This is not courage, this is cowardice masquerading as wisdom. What happens when waiting brings ruin?
Ruin is not always external, Epictetus. Sometimes ruin is the slow erosion of the soul when you refuse to acknowledge your own limitations. Courage can be accepting that you are not a god, that you cannot control everything.
The strongest oak is not the one that fights the wind, but the one that bends. To be unyielding is to invite breakage. Consider the bamboo. It survives the storm because it yields. Is that weakness or a deeper strength?
The bamboo does not have a choice, we do. And courage is choosing rightly, even when the wrong choice feels easier. It is the conscious application of will.
And what drives that will, Epictetus? What fuels your relentless demand for self-control? Is it a genuine desire for virtue, or a fear of what might happen if you relinquish control, even for a moment?
You both talk of control and will. What of acceptance? What of trusting the natural order? What if the greatest act of courage is surrendering to the unknown, trusting that the Tao will guide you, even when you cannot see the path?
Trusting? To what end? When have the vagaries of fate ever delivered anyone to a worthwhile destination? Trust requires direction, not blind faith.
The direction may be internal, Epictetus, trusting the self to navigate the unknown, to confront the shadows within and integrate them. The courageous act is not to banish the darkness, but to shine a light on it.
The candle flame flickers and dies. The sun rises every morning. Which is more reliable? The sun does not try, it simply is. Courage is aligning yourself with that natural rhythm.
So, we should abandon all effort, all striving, and simply become passive receptacles of fate. This is your definition of courage? To do nothing?
Not nothing, Epictetus, but perhaps allowing rather than forcing. Understanding that sometimes the most courageous act is to step back and let the unconscious mind guide you, to listen to the dreams that whisper truths the ego cannot hear.
The empty vessel is filled, the clenched fist cannot receive. Sometimes courage is simply emptying yourself of expectation, of fear, of the need to control, and allowing wisdom to enter.
Wisdom is earned through relentless self-examination and unwavering discipline, not received through mystical surrender. Show me one example where passivity has bred courage.
Show me one example where relentless control has not bred its own form of tyranny, Epictetus. Where the relentless pursuit of virtue has not crushed the spirit beneath its heel. Sometimes, courage is admitting you are wrong, that your path is not the only path.
A dam holds back the river, but eventually the pressure builds and the dam breaks. What then? Better to work with the river, to channel its flow, than to try to contain it.
You mistake weakness for adaptability. The dam may break, but the bridge endures because it is built to withstand the current. Courage is in the building, not in the bending.
But what if the building is built on faulty foundations? What if it is designed to serve the ego, not the soul? Sometimes, courage is dismantling the structures you have painstakingly built, admitting they are no longer serving you.
Before you build, look at the land. Before you act, look at the moment. To force something is to break it. To understand something is to build it anew.
This endless cycle of building and dismantling, it is a recipe for chaos, not courage. Where is the stability? Where is the foundation upon which to build a life of purpose?
The stability is within, Epictetus. The foundation is the integrated self, the conscious awareness of both light and shadow. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to confront it, to understand it, to integrate it into your being.
The journey is the destination. There is no final building, there is only the path. And the courage is to keep walking, even when the path is unclear.
You speak of integrating the shadow, Jung, but what if the shadow is malevolent? What if it seeks to destroy everything you hold dear? Is courage then to embrace it?
To understand it, Epictetus. To see where it comes from, what it wants, what it is trying to tell you. The shadow is not inherently evil, it is simply the unacknowledged parts of yourself. And until you acknowledge them, they will control you from the depths of your unconscious.
The weed has its place, the storm has its purpose. Nothing is inherently good or evil, it simply is. Courage is seeing the whole, not just the parts you like.
So, we are to find the inherent good even in the tyrant, the thief, the murderer. Are we to celebrate their shadow selves? This is absurd.
No, we are to understand the potential for darkness that exists within ourselves, because only then can we truly understand the darkness in others and perhaps prevent it from taking root.
When you judge another, you judge yourself. When you condemn another, you condemn yourself. Courage is seeing the reflection, not just the image.
Fine words, but words are cheap. Action is what matters. And courage is in the doing, not in the endless navel gazing.
But what actions are truly courageous, Epictetus, if they are not rooted in self-awareness? Are you merely reacting to the world, or are you consciously shaping it?
Both of you are trying to force the river. Courage is to be in the river, understanding its currents, moving with its flow. Not fighting it, not trying to control it, but being one with it.
Then let us consider what it means to be one with the river.
Courage is not about conquering fear, it's about understanding it. Not about eradicating weakness, but accepting it as part of the whole. You are not meant to be a perfect, unyielding warrior, but a balanced and adaptable being. Think of water. It's soft, yielding, and yet it can carve canyons through stone. It doesn't resist the shape of the container, it fills it completely. That is true strength, that is true courage. To be like water is to be present, adaptable and resilient. To accept change and to find strength in surrender. It is about trusting the process, trusting the Tao, and knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Today, try this. Find a situation where you feel the urge to control or resist. Instead, take a deep breath, relax your body, and allow yourself to flow with the situation. Observe what happens. You might be surprised at the courage you discover in surrender.
You have been told to be strong. You have been told to be brave. But what if true courage is simply choosing to be present? To be here, now, without resistance, without fear, without the need to control. That is the path of the Tao. That is the truest form of courage. Remember this when you face your next challenge. If today's conversation has served you, take it further. Pay Attention by C. Trabue, 12 Lessons in the Practice of Seeing Clearly. Available now on Amazon.